Good evening everyone and welcome to TTML. We are here for Division 4 action. It is Season 3, Round 1 of the Championship as we take in the Albert Park circuit from Melbourne in Australia. My name is James Hay, going to be taking through the stream as your solo commentator and of course as your TTML head commentator as well. I would have Paco Suarez alongside me in the commentary box for Season 3, however he's not here tonight, so you're going to have to deal with me for the next hour and a half or so, and hopefully it is going to be a fantastic race of course out on track. This really twisting circuit, the Australian circuit, 16 corners of course, awaiting these drivers out on track. It's going to be phenomenal, I think, to see all of these guys. And you'll be wondering, who on earth is your Division 4 lineup this season? Well, I can tell you right from the outset. In the Mercedes, it is Vapor Damon and TTGA Florian. In the Ferrari, it is Magnus and Atlas Copo. In the Red Bull, it is Mac Maverick and Storm. In the McLaren, it is Neymar and Conti. In the Racing Point, it is Khan and Licala. Pronunciations are not my strong point, by the way, so I apologise in advance. Tekken and Jibby Storm, two X-Division 5 champions, both teaming up in Alfa Romeo. Brewich and Ham in the Renault, with Maximus and Ryan in the Haas, not XL Ryan of course. Cygate and King in the AlphaTauri, and Traxi and Lukey in the Williams, while KO and Luca are the two reserves of course for Division 4. And that's literally all I've got to run through here tonight. So this driver lineup has been completed, which means I can talk to you guys for a bit and check the comment section as well. This is one of the rarest times, I think, where I'm actually not streaming through Tom's end, and I'm sure Tom will be listening in as well. You can see him there. I'm sure he will give you a wave, but he's just testing out some of the graphics for Tuesday night for Division 1. That's why he's in the lobby. So don't be alarmed if you see TTG_Honeybadger as a spectator in this lobby. He is just doing some spectator stuff, which is fantastic. And he's not going to be joining me in the commentary box. And I'm glad he's not, to be honest, because I don't want to put him on the spot at all. And of course, this is Division 4, as I say. It's going to be fascinating to see how these guys are going to get on. And yeah, Division 5 is also going to be live. Cadwell going to be taking you through that, of course. James Boyle, he'll be taking you through that. That stream should be getting set up very soon indeed on League Racing TV. And Freak Gronk already coming in saying he misses me so much in Division 5. I hope I have as much fun here. I hope you guys have as much fun in Division 5 as well. It is fantastic, I think, to see the Division 5 guys still racing on this Friday night, and it is a fantastic league, and I will miss the majority of the drivers there, but me and Jibby Storm, like I said last week on the Division 5 stream, have carried over to Division 4, so you're not missing me that much, I guess, and especially with me setting up the stream early, I can waffle on a little bit as well. We've got 16 drivers within the lobby currently. Freak Wong St. James will also miss Division 5. Luckily, he left us with another James. Exactly, my namesake just taking over. Just think of him as a more southern James. I'm the northern James, he's the more southern James, I think. I don't know, he's probably south of me, that's what I'm trying to say there. Maids as well saying good luck to Jibby. Good luck to all of the drivers here tonight, both in Division 4 and Division 5. As I say, it's going to be fantastic to see how these guys are going to get on. And of course, it's going to be fantastic to see how you guys at home are going to be watching the action as well. We have got 18 drivers now within the lobby. Traxy just joined in, the latest to join. But a fascinating night worth of action, of course. Let me take you through then. We would normally have graphics at this stage, by the way, in Division 4, but we're not. Tom not doing Division 4 this season. But we will take you through the track map nonetheless. It is 5.3 kilometres lap distance at the Albert Park circuit, of course. There are 3 compounded tyres, of course, available to the guys. The C2, C3 and C4. Softs, mediums and hards, of course, to you and me. 18 minutes worth of qualifying and 29 laps worth of action. Quick turnaround, of course, from last season. Faxland won the championship in Division 4 last season, so it's going to be interesting to see how he gets on, of course, progresses through into Division 3 with him winning the championship. But it's going to be fascinating, I think. A leading contender, of course, Storm last season, scored about 160 points, I think, last season. It's going to be fascinating to see how he is going to get on, of course, out on track, and whether he will be one of the leading contenders or not. Honestly, from my experience of commentating on these guys, I think Storm, Damon, Jippy Storm are probably the 3 to look out for. Maximus on his day, a really good driver. Atlas Copo, a really good driver. And Tekken, well, you saw in Division 5 how quick he was in Season 1. It's going to be fascinating to see, of course, how these guys get on out on track. We are just moments away from the action beginning here in Division 4. As I said, I would normally be joined by Paco Suarez. He's not here tonight, but he should be back next week to take you through the action. It's my co-commentator, of course, for the season, and plenty of support. I miss you calling me the overtaking B word there. I'm not going to swear on stream. You really did overtake Free Prong. It's going to be fantastic to see how you're going to get on. And Atlas Copo getting some support, of course, in the comments section there as well. It's going to be fascinating, I think, to see how these guys are going to get on out on track. And just to reiterate, we have that point system, of course, that alternative point system for the guys out on track. And if you're wondering what that is, of course, it is, of course, 30 points for the winner and 25 points for second. I'll take you through the standings in just a second while I get it up. So the point system for this season, it's simple as that. Every position down to 19th place scores up to 1 point. If you're 19th, you get 1. If you're 18th, you get 2. If you're 17, you get 3. All the way up to first position, that will get 30 points. Second place, 25, and third place, 20. There are also pole position points and fastest lap points, as per the last 2 seasons. Pole position, 2 points, 1 point, for the fastest lap. So whoever gets pole position here in Division 4 will be the championship leader, at least going into the race. So they will pick up 2 points, everyone else will be on 0. This is the advantage that I think the driver, whoever gets pole position, will have, because we're going to be seeing some great action, of course, out on track, and whoever that man is, good luck, because we are all going to need it. Here we go then, we better get going here in Division 4, and it is Australia, of course, hopefully under beautiful blue skies, as you can see there on your screen. And hopefully it is going to be fascinating to see how this race is going to unfold. And of course we have that 18 minutes worth of qualifying session. This is where I normally link into a track introduction, but I can just waffle on to my heart's content here tonight. It is very nice not to have the graphics for once. We do the graphics, of course, Division 1, and I was helping the guys last night for Division 2. And it's a real change-up, I think, when you try and commentate from having graphics, having a track introduction. You can just waffle on to your heart's content. Sidegate, we're just waiting on, readying up now within the lobby. We have already lost somebody, I think, from the lobby, if I'm not mistaken. So we're down to 17. I'm trying to pick up on who that driver might have been. But we better get going, of course, in towards qualifying. 18 minutes worth of qualifying. And then that 25% race. Tekken saying he had an update. Another wonder. Another wonder, he had an update file, so it's Tekken that's actually left the session. Hopefully he can rejoin. Lecala's saying he's alone in the lobby, which is concerning to get off the start. And looking at my screen, Lecala is not on there, so it's actually Lecala, I think, that has gone. Tekken has joined, so Tekken is in the session. Let's get all the telemetry and everything up for you guys, of course, here in Division 4. It's going to be fascinating, of course, to see. I'm pinning my hopes, honestly, as Lecala just joins the session, on Storm, on Maximus, on the likes that I've just mentioned there in the lead up towards qualifying. We have got our first driver coming out of the pit lane, and that man I'm now going to run on board with is absolutely nobody, because I've just flicked through everyone and nobody's came out on track. Let's see who is first out on track. It is Lukey there, down in 8th position currently. He's in the Williams. Let me try and spectate him if I can. There he is, in the Williams, and I'm not sure what's going on with the cameras tonight, but there we are. We have got a bit of a camera good. There we are. We're down into towards turn 3 and 4 now with Lukey, and Lukey now out on track to see how he is going to get on. That is very loud in my ears. I'm just going to turn it down slightly. And of course, Lukey, one of the Austrians, of course, he is alongside Traxi, of course, in the Williams this season. And be very interesting to see how both Austrians get on, of course, out on track as we follow his progress through the lap, as they come through the fearsome turn 10 and then through toward the fearsome turns 11 and 12. And this is really a car killer out on track. If you have really got an unstable setup around here, you're going to be really close coming through turn 12. Just like that, as Lukey invalidates. Hopefully it's not on this and next lap invalidated for Lukey. He's got a Red Bull just in behind him out on track, which I assume is Mac Maverick just in behind him. So the Austrian and the Brits are going to be the first two to lead us on to a lap. 2 minutes already through qualifying, no lap set. And we're just about to go on board with a lap here with RL Lukey as he now comes round the final corner out on track. And let's see, through turn 16 for the first time. So now set about on this quick lap. We expect around the 118s, 119s, possibly for Division 4. Lukey then through turn 1. Very nice through there. And now coming up towards turn 2. And then opens up the DRS range. 3 DRS zones, of course. One down towards turn 1, one down towards turn 3, which is this corner here. And then one, of course, down the back straight towards turn 13. Lukey now through 3, then through 4. Storm getting out the way to the left-hand side there. Lukey now comes through turn 5, catches the curve nicely. Looks like he's got a little bit of an unstable setup as he comes through the first sector split. 26.7 from Lukey in the first sectors. He now flies out of 6, 7, and then towards 8, and then through towards turns 9 and 10 out on track. We'll see his progress. About halfway through the lap now at this point, of course going around Albert Park Lake, which looks like a bit of a snake, if I've got to be honest. If you've seen it on Google Maps like I've done, it is certainly like a snake. 48.7 from Lukey as he tackles the fearsome turn 11 and 12. Beautifully done through there though, didn't invalidate that time around. So now he comes towards turn 13. We have got Mac Maverick, of course, on a lap behind him. He might have invalidated looking at the gap that he's now behind. Now Lukey coming around the final couple of corners. Through 13, through 14, and then up towards the final 2 corners at turns 15 and 16. Of course, the first inauguration of the Australian Grand Prix was held here in 1996. And a year before that, in Adelaide, somebody crashed in towards the pit lane. Who was it? There's a quiz question for you in Division 4. Lukey across the line to set the first lap, 1:21.2, and it did look like Mac Maverick had actually invalidated. As Conti now goes quicker, the 1:20.2. These lap times are only going to come up on my left side of the screen, it seems. Nothing going to appear on the bottom, as Mac Maverick does set a lap time, in fact, a 1:32.1. So I think that Red Bull was Storm starting up on the lap, if I'm not mistaken. So Conti out on top. Let's see how Atlas Copo is getting on as he comes now through turn 13. So the Ferrari flying through on number 72 out on track. Now this couple coming through turn 14 and then towards the fearsome 15 and 16. Karn is second, Braywich third, 1:20.6, 1:20.8 for the racing point. And for the Renault, as Magnus now goes second, about a half a tenth off Conti. And Atlas Copo pops himself up into third. The 2 Ferraris looking quite strong in this early foray of qualifying laps. 1:20.3 and 1:20.4 for Atlas Copo. Weber Damon has invalidated on his lap. Let's run on board with Neymar, the Dane. So now comes through turns 11 and 12. Catches the curve very nicely through there, does Neymar. So now comes through turn 13. You will see with Neymar every week that he does like to change up his helmet, and you can probably see he's got an Australian helmet on here tonight. He likes to design his own helmets and of course race with them, which I think is really appropriate for every round that we go to. Neymar now coming through 15 and then through 16, and he's looking towards the top end of the field. Traxi currently out on top now ahead of Conti, and Neymar puts himself up into the top spot by a 10th and a quarter out on track. So Neymar out on top, Traxi second, Conti now third. As we come towards the end of these first few laps. Cygate is invalidated. Florian round the final corner. Let's see what the Dutchman can do. Across the line, and he goes third, and he's 1500ths of a second off Traxi, 1:20.1 from Florian. And I should say he's a German, not a Dutchman, but out on track, a very good lap nonetheless from Florian. And his teammate Damon still yet to set a lap. I think he's just gone on to one now, so we'll catch on board with that very soon. Neymar out on top, Traxi second, Florian third. You are just tuning in, nearly 6 minutes of qualifying gone. Damon now comes through turn 3 and then through turn 4. Let's hope he doesn't invalidate on this lap. He has got ERS about 80% currently as he now comes through the first sector split towards turn 6, 26.4. Pretty much the quickest we've seen all night. And now Damon coming through this middle sector. And approaching towards turn 9 and 10. That just ahead of him is Florian, who's, of course, the other Mercedes, and going to give him a little bit of tow down towards turn 11 and 12. Might get a tow down towards turn 13, perhaps, as well. So this is a really good tow that Damon is getting. In fact, Florian gets out of the way, 48.1 through the middle sector. Can be off-putting, actually, when you have a car in front that is giving you tow and they move to the left-hand side of the track. It can invalidate your lap sometimes. I've seen that with drivers before. Damon, though, is on a good lap here as he now comes through turn 13 and through 14. He's car number 64, if I'm not mistaken. It's 84, in fact. My eyes are deceiving me. That's an 8 rather than a 6. He now comes around the final corner, and Damon on a really good lap here, could break into the 119. He's going to be around Traxy Florian sort of area. In fact, he's just below that, so 120.4 there from Damon. Puts himself into 7th. Didn't look as quick at the final corner as what you might have expected, but the Mercedes goes 7th, 120.4 out on track. Let's have a look at our Division 1 Season 1 Division 5 champion, in fact, Tekken. And Tekken, of course, very consistent once again last season, and hopefully can make his way up the ranks, of course, here in Division 4. His second season, of course, in Division 4, since that win and promotion from Season 1. Now Tekken comes through turn 5. Jibby Storm, by the way, in his first lap in Division 4, 120.3. He's behind Lukey, 11th and 12th currently. So now Tekken comes through 6, 7 and 8, and then up towards turns 9 and 10. He's got about 65% of the ERS left, but of course, if you're new to Formula 1, energy recovery system is what ERS means, and it's as simple as this. When you brake into a corner, you gain energy. When you go out of a corner, you lose energy. 48.4 from Tekken to the middle sector. Not as quick, and he's just invalidated, in fact, coming out of turn 12. A little bit of an unstable setup, possibly, as he comes out there. Damon just off to the right-hand side of him, but Tekken now has invalidated, so he will not be getting this lap, and I would imagine he might try and go either for another lap, or he'll come into the pit lane. He now runs around the final couple of corners out on track, and yeah, straight into the pit lane goes car number 69. Probably car number 69, I think, out on track. He's just behind his teammate, Jibby Storm. Coming into the pit lane, Ferrari leaving the pit lane, I believe, is Atlas Copo. But there's that man there, who's just came back out on track. Neymar out on top for Dane. From Traxy, the Austrian, in second. Nearly stopping there in front of Neymar was Lukey down in 11th position. But Neymar out on top, Traxy second. Florian, there he is, in 3rd position. I believe Conti is on a lap now. 800ths down through the first sector split. Through the middle sector, he's 6/10ths down. It looks like he's actually knocked a little bit of that front wing. Right side end plate damage for Conti. So Conti down in 4th currently, but we'll be expecting to break into the 119s. We should see a 119 lap time come very soon indeed from some of the guys out on track. Let's run on board then with one of the newcomers to Division 4, certainly newcomer to me. King is now on a lap, the Norwegian. Coming out turn 4, oh, and that's a Williams going wide there. I think that was Lukey just starting up on his lap. He went wide coming out of turn 1 and 2. Nearly did a Valtteri Bottas of 2018, where he, of course, spun the car and crashed out of the qualifying session. Nearly did that, but he's lucky, I think, to get away with maybe either minor damage or no damage at all. King through the first sector, 26.3, one of the fastest we've seen all night. He now comes through this middle sector. He's in the AlphaTauri, that jumping up the order, I think. The Sidegate going up into 8th with a 120.6. A good up there from the Sidegate. We run on board there with King as he now comes towards the end of this middle sector. Let's see in terms of the middle sector split what he's like. 48th lap, one of the quickest we've seen all night. King is on an absolute flyer of a lap here through 11 and 12. And now coming up towards turn 13, this hard braking zone here, named as Ascari corner out on track. Named, of course, after Alberto Ascari, not to be confused with the Italian name, the Ascari. And that's also named after Alberto Ascari, of course, as well, in Monza. King now around the final 2 corners out on track. This is a really good lap from King. He's going to be there or thereabouts in terms of Neymar. Comes across the line. And he goes second with a 120 flat, 1300ths of a second off Neymar. We'll look on board though with Traxy, who is now on a lap. Florian is behind him, is invalidated. Neymar though is just ahead of him, so we'll run on board with Neymar first, then we'll go back on board with Traxy as Neymar now comes toward the end of this lap. Through 13, and then towards 14 of course. Husky Chocolate sponsored McLaren, of course, as he now comes through 14, and then out of 15 and 16. It was a really good first lap. Can he improve, though, on this? He was on the 800ths down. He's going to be there or thereabouts in terms of King's lap time, certainly. Neymar across the line, and he does improve. 119.9. Traxy, that is, coming out the final corner. Let's see what he's going to do. He's 3.5 tenths up, comes across the line, and he breaks Neymar's heart already. Neymar's heart broken already with 6 minutes to go in qualifying. Traxy now out on top of 119.6, and he's 3/10ths clear of his nearest rival. Great lap as Atlas Copo just jumps up into 5th position as well. Florian through the first sector, 2.5 tenths up. Let's see what the German can do. Of course, in the German Mercedes. So now comes through towards turns 9 and 10 out on track. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the action, of course. Division 5 is also live. Storm welcoming back, and Jibby Storm's brother, I should say, giving them good luck as well. Florian's 3.5 tenths up though still. To the middle sector. Oh, he catches a right drift coming through 11 and 12. Well recovered by Florian. Right on the limit. He is currently on for a good second position, I think, in terms of this. In fact, he's ran wide, and that is his lap done. So Florian, clearly with that mistake, felt like he lost the time. He made a mistake coming out of 12, trying to fight the car through 13. Lost the back end, and then once again, just looks like a little bit of an unstable setup there, possibly for Florian. A 120.1 though is where he remains in 4th position. See if anybody else is on a lap. Conti, not sure what he did through the first sector. We'll right on board with him. We've got Vapor Damon coming through the final couple of corners as well. And Vapor Damon now, who was promoted from Division 5 last season in China, I believe. Now he runs toward the line. Is he going to improve? Yes, he does. Up to 5th. And he's only 6 thousandths of a second off Florian. So a really minute gap between the two Mercedes out on track. That's what you like to see, though. Consistency between the two teammates, even this early on in the season. Conti now, not using up his DRS, so I'm imagining he is down on this lap and would probably come into the pit lane with low fuel. Racing Point in behind, I think is Lakala or Khan out on track, so I'll try and find whoever that might be. As I've got a little bit of a glitch there, as Conti now comes through final corner. Let me see if it is Khan. And it is Khan who comes into the pit lane. There's a Haas also out on track, and that Haas is Maximus, who was on a lap well down the field. And he, I think, has crashed his way around the track. Right side end plate damage once again for Maximus. Maximus now into the pit lane. You will hear, of course, Paco Suarez's pronunciation of Maximus next week. Traxi, though, out on top with 4 minutes and 15 seconds to go, just over in qualifying. From Neymar in 2nd and King in 3rd position. That pretty much ends off the 2nd round of lap time. It's going to be all hell for leather now out on track. Vapor Damon coming out the final corner. He is going to come back into the pit lane. But we have got a lap now beginning from Lecala, I believe. Yes, Lecala now on a lap. The Finn coming down towards turn 3, of course representing OFR. And Lecala now coming through turn 4. And then out towards 5. Of course, turn 4 put Vettel out in 2010 and the Grand Prix in 2010 around here. It even happens to the best. Lecala, 700th of a second off through turn 6, 7, and then through 8. Of course, we're in South Melbourne here tonight. If you are not familiar with Formula 1, we are tuning in for this. Division 5, by the way, is also live. James Boyle, Cadwell 5, taking you through that one. And Rock City saying he is at hospital with his newborn son, which is absolutely fantastic news from the Division 5 lot, and congratulations to Rock City in advance of that birth of his new son. Sure, there's going to be a lot of stressful nights in between that. Lecala, though, is on a lap here in Division 4, so now comes out of 13 through 14. Car number 11 out on track and runs through the final 2 corners. And it's looked a really clean lap this from Lecala. Not going to be towards the top end of the field. He could put himself towards Storm, Sidegate area maybe, across the line, and he goes just in beyond his teammate, in fact 120.7, but you can see in terms of the consistency out on track, Sidegate all the way down to Lecala, 10th down to 13th, are separated by nearly a 10th of a second as Maximus retires in the pit lane. And we've got a lap just starting up from the man in 10th position, that is Sidegate. And let's have a look on board the AlphaTauri, who will be one of the first to come across the line on this lap. I think Jibby Storm is also out there on a lap, so let's ride on board with him. Why not? 2.5 tenths per second. Jibby Storm is up on this lap. And let's see how the Dutchman can do. The defending Division 5 champion, promoted to Division 4 this season, and currently finding it a little bit tough in terms of the lap time. 1.8 seconds off the top end, which is now Magnus from Traxi and Neymar. So apologies, these aren't coming up on my screen. So Magnus now out on top with the 119.5. Traxi and Neymar second and third. Jibby Storm, is he going to try and improve? Yes, he's up to 14th, 120.9. Not enough to get out of the top into the top 10. And he's currently qualifying on that fresh set of softs, of course. And we're starting on a different compound of tyre. Let's go back on board with Sidegate. So he came out of 12, now towards 13. See how the drivers really take the wide line to try and minimise the bit of aero that they get on the inside of the curb coming through 14. You see it here through 15. and then through 16. Sygate really trying to fight the car through the corner, really trying to get it to respond. He's going to be in and around Atlas Copel, Conti, Braywich sort of area, I think, with this lap time. And he does, and he goes 7th with a good lap, 120.228 from Sygate. That rhymes slightly. Magnus now out on top, Traxy second, Neymar on third. Let's run on board as King has invalidated on his lap time. He will get another crack of the cherry. Neymar, though, 2/10 up. Let's ride on board with him. Traxy has just started off on a lap, I believe, through turn 3. There is a car off. I think it might be Sygate getting out of the way down towards turn 4. And Neymar missed his middle sector, but Ferrari getting out of the way to the right-hand side. And another Ferrari getting out of the way to the right-hand side. That was Magnus and Atlas Copel. And now Neymar runs wide, coming out of turn 13. And he's going to have to try and go for another lap, the Dane, and try and break the hearts of Magnus and Traxy. Has he got 4/10 in him? No is the answer. He's back into the pit lane and will not be getting an improvement on his lap time. Traxy then, 119.6, 2/10 down through the first sector, 2/10 down again through the middle sector as Likala has retired in the pit lane. Traxy now out of turn 12. Now towards 13, Magnus, Traxy, Neymar currently out on top. A lot of improvements I would imagine are going to come from the likes of Atlas Copel, Conti, Sygate. We ride on board now with the Williams. He flies through 14. And you can see him shifting, short shifting down towards second, up into 4th, straight out the corner, then through 15 and 16, and now Traxy on a really good lap this is. He's responded well in the final sector, comes across the line. He doesn't get pole position though, and he doesn't even improve in the end. That was a really quick final sector from Traxy, made up nearly 3/10 of a second. Magnus though out on top currently, Traxy second, Neymar on third. King is invalidated again, Florian not improving, Damon not improving, Sygate is in the wall coming out of turn 5 and 6. Conti moves up into 3rd. Atlas Copel has lost his front wing. Storm is the only one on a lap, I think, and Khan is the only one on a lap, and Tekken now around the final corner. Can Tekken respond? Up he goes into 13th, 120.4. That is then the end of qualifying, because King cannot improve, neither can Florian, neither can Atlas Copel, neither can Storm out on track. Unless Atlas Copel is on the lap and I've missed him. No, he is down on his lap time because he has broken his front wing, but it is his teammate, appropriately, that man there, who was in the pit lane. Magnus out on top from Traxy second and Conti in 3rd position. Round off the first qualifying session of Division 1, so currently at Division 4. So currently that means Magnus, you're a big fan of him, he's got 2 points and he's now leading the championship out on track. It's as simple as that. You pick up points for literally anything out on track. And of course, with there being 18 drivers here as well, it's noticeable if you are a driver listening carefully. You're going to pick up a minimum of 2 points if you finish the race, because there's only 18 drivers here. If there was 19, you'd be a minimum of 1. But remember, a minimum of 2 points, plus that fastest lap point. First race of the season, do not give up at all. Don't give up, be strong, be brave. Don't be brave and be bold, because that's just going into a whole kettle of fish. Hopefully the driving standards, of course, here in Division 4 are going to be fantastic. Let's have a look. Enjoy the new challenge in Division 4 to Jibby Storm. Not really currently enjoying it. He's down in the bottom 5 of the grid. Sygate's actually picked up a 5th-place grid penalty, so we'll run you through the order. Magnus out on top from Traxy second, Conti in 3rd, Neymar 4th, King rounding off the top 5. Then it's Florian, Damon. Then it will be Atlas Copel, Braywich and Storm rounding off the top 10. Sygate will then drop to 13, so he'll drop in behind Maverick, Tekken and Khan. They all promote up to positions. Sygate will drop to 13, sorry, so Khan will be 14, so it's Maverick and Tekken that will move up in position. Lekala 15th, Lukey in 16th. Jibby Storm will be hoping to go back to Division 5 with his qualifying performance of 120.9. Maximus, no time set, and he's down at the back in 18th position. And that is the rundown of qualifying. We are, of course, 5 subscribers away on League Racing TV. Hopefully, you're going to be those final 5 subscribers until we get to 800 by the end of January. I'm hoping we can get that target set. Share this around. If you're in lockdown like we are here in the UK, welcome. Welcome to normality these days. And welcome to Division 4 on a Friday night. It is, of course, myself, James Head, your TTML head commentator and Division 4 lead commentator here tonight, taking you through the action. James Boyle taking you through Division 5, of course. If you want to go and show him some love, then you can do that as well. Of course, he's our new commentator here in League Racing TV. And And it is Robin out on top from Invictus second, Mays in third. They're on the formation lap there in Division 5. We are about to start the formation lap here in Division 4. And hopefully, with Licala joining in qualifying, I think it doesn't matter now because he did qualify. Hopefully, there's going to be no glitches on the stream, which I hope, which is going to be great. But Robin, Invictus, Mays, your top 3 in Division 5, I can tell you. And looking really interesting as well. Some really good drivers up there towards the top end of the field. Back then, though, to Division 4. We wait on Magnus to ready up. And the formation lap is about to begin at a slightly overcast Melbourne circuit at the Albert Park circuit, of course, here, and 29 laps await these drivers around a 5.3 kilometre circuit. Looking further down the field, this is what I like to do. If you haven't seen the commentary of mine before, you should have. If you haven't, then here we are. Let me run you through then the tyres. Top 10, of course, qualifying on that set of soft compound of tyre. So they are on old soft compound tyres. That's noticeable because everyone else behind are on either different tyres or on fresh softs. So those on a fresh set of softs, Cygate, Khan, Licala and Jibby Storm, all on a set of soft compound of tyre. They will be hoping to go to about lap 7, lap 8 before the tyres begin to degrade and before the pit stops will begin. You saw it on your screen there, lap 9 to 11. Don't trust the AWS graphics on this game, honestly. On the set of mediums, it is Mac Maverick, Lukey and Maximus. They're on the set of mediums, they're on the middle of the 3 compound tyre, and they're going to be more durable. Expect them to go around the halfway stage to about lap 16, lap 17, and then you'll see some of the drivers either commit to go onto a set of soft compound tyre, especially if there's a safety car, that can be manageable, but they will go onto a set of hards, I would imagine, towards the end of the race, just to play it safe. But if you're like Tekken and you're down in 12th position, you're on a set of hard compounder tyre, and those are the most durable of the 3 compounder tyres available, the C2, C3 and C4 compound. Hard compounder tyres will see Tekken to get about lap 19, lap 20 I would imagine, and then it'll go for a bit of a splash and dash towards the end. That being said, we normally see some safety cars around this track. We normally see some VSEs as well, so don't judge a book by its cover. Because unlike Division 5 last season where we had 6 safety cars in Belgium, I don't think it's going to be on that scale, but we're going to see. And for my first top 3 here tonight and of this season, I am going to go for Neymar for the win, I'm going to go Magnus for second, and I'm going to go Atlas Coppo for third. Watch out for Storm, watch out for Tekken, watch out for Jibby Storm, more consistent in the race than he is normally in qualifying. But here we go. The first race of the season, of Season 3 of Division 4, is about to go, and the 5 red lights are now going out here in Melbourne, Australia, for the first round of the championship, and it's lights out and away we go, and Magnus gets a very good start. Traxi lagging his way down the field. That's a bit of a timing glitch. He is fighting though for position with Conti, running down in towards turn 1. It's Magnus who leads. There's Conti in second, and he's actually being overtaken by Traxi, so Traxi holds second, then it's Conti in third. Everyone clean through, and that is Conti and King now going side by side down in towards turn 3. AlphaTauri down the inside of the McLaren. He gets moved on. He's up into third. He's also moved further down. I think that is another McLaren of Neymar and Florian fighting just in behind for 5th and 6th. And it's Neymar who comes out on top of that battle. But through the end of the first sector for the first time, all the graphics glitch. There's Florian in P5 currently out on track. He's just behind Neymar for P6. And it's Magnus though who leads by 7/10 of a second early on. From Traxi second, King in third, Conti fourth, then Neymar, then Florian, then Damon, then Storm, then Cygate, and then Atlas Coppo rounding off the top 10. A little bit of a scoring run there from Khan at 11, and a little bit of a bad start from Tekken, and he's under pressure from Licala, as now Licala tries to look to the inside line. You can hardly see him. There he is behind him though, and Tekken now through 11 and 12 has just about fended off the attentions of Licala in behind. McMaverick, Maximus and Jibby Storm, who sometimes had a terrible start. Not sure if there was any little bit of contact, but we just got caught napping off the start line. Jibby Storm, Division 5 champion last season, down at the back of the field. But round the final corner, Magnus has got about a second lead as he comes across the line here in Melbourne. Starts lap 2, 128.2, his fastest lap. And there's a predicted pit stop strategy. Lap 9 to 11 on a set of 1 stop. 2 stop is lap 8 to 11, and then lap 16 to 20 to go on to a set of mediums. But Magnus absolutely flying off the start. Traxy second, King in third early on, and the top three beginning to break away. Conti in fourth, then Neymar in fifth. Looking further down the field, however, looks like Lecala and McMaverick are battling down in towards turn 4. Now through 3 and then through 4. Lecala looks the outside line on a fresh set of soft compound tyre. He's been outgunned though by McMaverick. Around the outside he goes. Good move there, good battling as well between the Brit and the Finn. And he's through and he's up into 15th on a set of medium compound tyres. And Lukey just runs wide. There's now Tekken. Tries to find the gap through on the inside line, and now McMaverick is going to try and get this now to the outside line. Tekken on the inside. Lukey hangs tough, but Tekken's through and he's up into 13th. Good move that, McMaverick. Just got a bit Constantina. Then at fourth, Lecala, Maximus and Jibby Storm into the back of each other now. Lukey's trying to find around the outside now of Tekken in towards 11 and 12. Tekken really struggling, I think, out on track. He might have light green damage, possibly out on track. So we fly through camera position, and Lukey now to the outside line, and Tekken waltzes away around the outside of 13. Great stuff by the Austrian. He is through, and he's up into 13. Jibby Storm is making a move on Maximus, but Maximus has just outgunned him. Around the outside goes Maximus, and he is through, and he's up into 17. Jibby Storm is having a rough and tumble race so far. Yellow flag in sector 3. Khan has gone around the final corner, and he has crashed out of the race, and a safety car has been deployed. So safety car has been deployed then. Oh, as Tekken has to take avoiding action on the late braking of Luke. But that is a safety car now coming out of the pit lane. And there we are. Safety car has been deployed out on track, and that brings to an end the first 2 or 3 laps worth of action. It is Magnus though out on top, and we intend to lead from Traxy second, King in third, as we are now under deployment of the safety car. Let's have a look at the position changes. 4 positions gained for Cygate and Lukey respectively. Really good battle further down the field, of course, that we caught on board with between Lukey and Tekken. Then 2 positions gained for respectively King, Storm and Maximus. 1 position gained for Lecala. 4 positions lost though for McMaverick. 4 positions lost, of course, for Khan, who crashed out of the right side of the final corner. I would imagine he probably got caught on the outside curb, spun the car around, and the Racing Point doesn't like the final quarter, and he's crashed out of the race. So unfortunately for the Dutchman, he's out, and that's the first DNF of the night. Now that's promoted a minimum of 3 points out on track for these guys. I, however, I'm going to take a break. I forgot to bring up a drink before commentary, so I'm going to let you ride on board then with Magnus for P1, and we should be back under green flag racing, hopefully in a lap's time. If we don't see any pit stops, and in fact Magnus is into the pit lane, so let's see. Has anybody responded in behind? Yep, Traxy in, King in. Neymar, I think, has stayed out. Consi has gone in. Storm and Cygate and Atlas Copo and Greywitch all into the pit lane. Lukey's picked up a 3-second tumbling out of the final corner, and he is into the pit lane as well. Maverick Lecala as well. Cygate 5-second penalty for speeding into the pit lane. Magnus then rejoined on a set of hard compound tyres. These may make it to the end of the race, you know. And there's Magnus in 7th. But it's that man there, Neymar, who will lead under the safety car, and I will be very quick. I'll be about 30 seconds. There we are. Back again, and the safety car is still out on track, so we might get another lap under the safety car. Oh, but it is that man there, Neymar, who leads under the safety car, and top 6, of course, still yet to come into the pit lane, and there you can see who has made stops, who hasn't. Lukey picked up 3 seconds, Cygate picked up 5 seconds worth of time penalties out on track. So we are going to remain under the safety car at least for another lap, which means I can catch my breath for a little bit. I will be back in about 30 seconds or so. We are back, and Neymar out on top from Florian in second, Vapor Damon in third. Let me have a look at you lovely guys in the comment section to see how you're doing. Under the safety car period is lap 5 out of 29 here in Australia. Division 5, also on lap 6, so Nilsson already out the race, and Victor's chat Ruth Robin currently leading the way out on track in Division 5. Of course, that is live alongside us here in Division 4, and this is where the majority of the viewers are, I think, as well, which is great to see. No new comments, but if you do want to get in touch, of course, just comment in the comment section. It is simple as that, and hopefully we can see some really good comments before the end of the race as well. But there's Neymar out on top from Florian in second and Damon in third. Top 6, of course, still yet to come into the pit lane. So they're going to be holding the guys who are on a set of hards, barring Storm, who might go 2-stop towards the end of the race. He might go into a set of softs before the end of the race. Might be a really cool strategy, I think, there from Storm. On a set of mediums, he will go into a set of softs towards the end of the race. Safety car then. The safety car lights have now gone out, and now it is Neymar's turn to be the safety car out on track. He's the virtual Burt Marlander. Now coming out of turn 11 and 12. And it's Neymar out on top from Florian second, Damon in third. I'm about to get the race back underway. And of course, these guys have got to remain within 10 car lengths of each other. At least 10 car lengths of each other. This, though, from Neymar is perfectly fine. Just slumming up the pack at a very consistent pace. And he'll be hoping to try and go out of turn 15, I would imagine. He'll slow the pack up even further. And then he'll go as there's a little bit of a gap there between Magnus holding up the pack, maybe to get onto the back of Jibby Storm out of the final corner. That's the slide from Florian, and that is Neymar underway. And Neymar gets us back underway here for lap 6 worth of racing. And the safety car back in as Neymar comes across the line to fly down towards turn 1. Florian second, Vapor Damon in third. Storm is already on the back of Conti, looking to try and get the move done. Here comes the Red Bull down the inside of the McLaren. Can he get the move done? Cautious Storm, as we normally like to call him here in TTML, as he tries to fly around the outside of turn 2. That going around the outside just ahead is King on Traxi, and they're going side by side and down towards turn 3. Storm now trying to not be cautious, go for the down inside move. As he now flies around the outside. Beautiful helicopter cam, beautiful move by Storm if he can pull it off. He's on a fresh set of mediums, and he does. And he's through, a Maximus has spun. Coming through out of turn 3, and Storm has spun. Storm has spun, is out of the race. Storm has spun, he's out of the race. I could deploy another safety car out on track. In the meantime, Florian has got the lead of the race from Neymar. And then it's Damon in third, and Damon tries to fly through on the inside line. So unfortunate, I think Storm might have just got caught out. It's Magnus now has got off out on track. Damon now down the inside line. Can he get the move done? That's silly from Damon, really silly indeed. Never go for a move there. Wouldn't be surprised as Florian is there out of the race. Drama personified here and a VSC has been deployed here in Australia, and a VSC has been now deployed. They're down to 40% running. Magnus has had a problem, I think, out on track as opposed to a spin. He went off coming down towards turn 9 and went straight on, so I would imagine it's either a controller or a wheel issue possibly there. But Florian, and all sorts of carnage happening there. Damon, not really sure what he was thinking, trying to go down the inside of Tekken or Jibby Storm, was one of the Alpha Males. Not really sure what he was thinking. It was a bit silly, to be honest. The gap was always going to close. Never go for a move like that. In racing, never go for a move like that. Learn from the mistakes. It's as simple as that. Tekken now leads under the VSC from King in second, Traxi in third, Damon in fourth. I hope you kept up with that. I certainly didn't with that camera work. Tekken now leading from King in second. Traxi there in third, Damon in fourth. Then it's Conti in fifth. Atlas Coco, Sargate, Greywitch, Licala, and Mac Maverick. Let's run on board with the back of the Red Bull. Licala just ahead of him out on track. Greywitch in a bit of a Scandinavian sandwich, I would say. Mac Maverick picks up a 3-second time penalty for running wide. Of course, track penalties on this game really, really harsh for the drivers. So now the brace closes down on the Finn ahead of him. Racing points against Red Bull and possibly Renault as well for 8th position out on track. Lukey not too far away over. That was Mac Maverick, I think, getting slightly wide coming out of turn 10. Had a bit of a half spin. But now Greywitch coming now through. Can he fight off the attentions of Licala? Is Licala quick enough? No, he is slower. Now Greywitch coming out there. Could be under threat for Mac Maverick. As they fly through, camera shot, Tekken leading from that VSC restart. King in second, Traxi in third. So Tekken's actually in a really good position to try and go towards the end of the race. Hopefully no more safety. Got interruptions as Mac Maverick goes straight into the back of the car, and Braywich has been spun by that as well. That looked to me as if it was a little bit of lag contact. Left side end plate damage for Mac Maverick, and now he's under pressure from Lukey. Running down in towards turn 1. Driving standards really need to pick up here in Division 4 tonight, I'm afraid. Lukey now down in towards turn 1. Tries to get the move done. Has a bit of a threat, pulls the Mac Maverick out wide, and that is simple. Lukey around the outside, forced Mac Maverick into a mistake. Simple level like that, forces Lukey up into 9th. Simple as that, and job done. Williams through on the Red Bull, up into 9th and down into 10th. Mac Maverick goes. Mac Maverick, of course, fighting that left side damage on his car. Let's try and have a look at the progression then of Vapor Damon. In 4th position, Sygate picks up another 3-second time penalty out on track. It is Tekken though who leads from King in 2nd, Traxy 3rd, then Vapor Damon in 4th. And he's using a overtake mode, Vapor Damon to try and catch the back of Traxy. Conti there in 5th, Atlas Coco in 6th. So currently in the net lead of the race there is that man there, King. Currently in the net lead of the race, Tekken and Damon still yet to come into the pit, as well as Maximus, who I think is carrying a bit of damage on that car. That was King getting out wide, coming out of turn 13. So Tekken really going great guns out on track. King there in 2nd. Bit of a revving out glitch there as Traxy tries to catch. Damon there in 4th. Really surprised actually Damon has not came into the pit lane as we were about to start lap 9 out of 29. Man, though, right on the back of Mac Maverick is Braywich. Mac Maverick into the pit lane, and that'll be Braywich soon. He's up into 10th now, Braywich. And after that spin, he will be really unhappy, I think, by Mac Maverick's actions. Just late braking down in towards turn 1. Pit window now open on the right-hand side of your screen, lap 9 to 11, on a set of soft compound of tyre. But in the meantime, Traxy trying to catch King, and King trying to catch Tekken as well. 1.1 seconds. Tekken's gap is really coming down out on track. King there in 2nd, Traxy in 3rd. The Austrian trying to chase down TTM underscore King. And King, of course, I believe, is just trying to look at him. He is a Brit out on track. I thought he's Norwegian, but he's not. He's a Brit out on track, and the Brit trying to fend off the attentions of the Austrian and behind. There's another Brit of Tekken coming back to these guys ahead, and 3-lap old fresher tyres around this track equates to about a 14% better off in terms of tyre difference, especially if you're like Tekken and tyres are going to be wearing away towards the end of the race. Still in the relatively early stages, though, about a third of the way through now in Australia, and it's Tekken who leads from King in 2nd, and this should be a possible move then for King. If we're right on board with Tekken, that Revenant glitch will cause me nightmares after tonight's race. Tekken leaning down in towards turn 1. King trying to look for the move, so trying to get close out. There's couple further down the field there, but now King has got a tremendous run coming out of turn 2. Let's see what he can do here. Is he going to try and switch to the outside? He dummies to the inside line. But Tekken holds the lead. So Tekken holds the lead of the race. Neymar now through on Maximus, moves across, and the Dane is through on the Brit. So Neymar through and he's up into 11th. Good move that on a set of hard compound tyres, clean as you like. Maximus 12th, Jibby Storm in 13th, Florian, Storm and Khan sadly out of the race. Storm just getting caught in a bit of bad luck, I think, out on track. So we'll take on board with Traxy's point of view. King nearly into the back there of Tekken, locks up slightly, coming out of turn 9 and 10. Damon is dropping quite considerably now out on track as King looks to the inside line. Can the Brit get done on his fellow countrymen? Yes, through turn 11. Brilliant stuff by King. And Tekken is now surely carrying damage because Traxy is going to get him as well up towards 13. 2 for the price of 1. Signed, sealed and delivered by King. But Traxy follows through as well. And Traxy now through and he's up into 2nd. And he's trying to track King down for the lead of the race. Really good move that by King. Really had a bold commitment. You don't want to be overbold around this track here in Australia, but King is through into the lead of the race. Traxy now 2nd, and Tekken has got to be carrying right side damage, possibly on that right hand end plate, and he is down into 3rd. Conti trying to chase down the leaders as well. This in the meantime, Jibby Storm on the back of Mac Maverick. Now Storm has left the session. Jibby Storm, though, Division 5 champion, of course, from last season. The sun breaks through here in the Albert Park sky, in the South Melbourne sky in Victoria. Jibby Storm now tries to chase down Magnus. Has he got that consistency we saw last season to trying to make his way through the field? been a bit like a baptism of fire, I think, for the new guys so far. But Jimmy Storm trying to chase down, makes a slight mistake there from Magnus in 12th, and Jimmy Storm just losing a little bit of time. Back on board then, we go with the leaders. Traxy now trying to catch the back of King. Who's got the fresher tyres at this stage? It'll be very interesting to see. If we had the TAS system, this would be absolutely brilliant, because I think Traxy's probably got better tyres live currently than King just ahead of him out on track. But King trying to find the ace in the pack. Traxy though tracking him down in second. You will get used to my puns, trust me, Division 4 audience. King leading the way from Traxy second, Tekken in third out on track. As Magnus is through on Maximus. Bit of a mouthful to say that in the same sentence, but Magnus is through on Maximus. Could be worse, you could have 2 Storms in Division 1, but Magnus is through on a fresh set of hearts. He's through now and he's up into 11th. I think Maximus is still continuing on with that damage on that left side end play. In fact, he is still doing that, as now Jibby Storm comes to attack the bricks out of the final corner. Maximus runs wide, and now Jibby Storm looks. Will he go into the slipstream? He hasn't got the pace running down the straight. Maximus has got the DRS. And in fact, Jibby Storm did have the DRS, but he didn't use any overtake mode. And now out of turn 2, Jibby Storm has got to try and commit this move now. Maximus to the outside line. He doesn't want to come off the inside line. No, it's Jibby Storm now comes down the inside line. Can the Division 5 champ from last season do it? He's ran the outside of Maximus. Now through 3, now through 4. Alfa Romeo hung out to dry slightly. They're still nearly side by side, and Maximus holds them off for at least another half a lap or so, until probably turn 13, where it'll be another go for Jibby Storm on the back of Maximus. If he's still right on board with the Alfa Romeo man, as he looks to try and get the move done. He's got a tremendous one. He might not even wait till turn 13. Jibby Storm there down the inside line, trying to get the move done. Maximus still hung it out to dry. A little bit of contact between them both. Jibby Storm just let him through there though, and Jibby Storm now is going to try and get onto the back of Maximus, and he weaves, giving Maximus the room, saying he doesn't want to go for the move just yet. He doesn't want to ruin his own race. Out towards through 12 and 13. Jibby Storm chasing down Maximus, 12th and 13th out on track. Traxy tracking down King for the lead of the race as well. Let's run on board with the Williams on the back of the AlphaTauri. And these guys may make it to the end of the race. Traxy's got a phenomenal run then in towards turn 3. Can he look to the outside line? Not quite. King holds him off for now. Second dropped 2.6 seconds behind, so he's clearly got a bit of right side end plate damage on that car. But King leading the way from Traxy's second, and then it's second and third, Conti in fourth currently. Back on board with this battle with Jibby Storm and Maximus. Going to try and intersect between them both if we can. Jibby Storm now looking to the inside line. Has he got that car now alongside? Has he got the car on the brakes? Yes, he has. Jibby Storm is through, and he's up into 12th. That is a move of personified perfection from Jibby Storm, and he's through on a fresh set of hearts. Oh, as Maximus crouched the wall. If that was not left side end plate damage, it definitely would be now. Jibby Storm is through and you're up into 12th. Maximus makes a mistake on a set of tyres. He's still yet to pit in as well, Maximus, later on in the race. And Jibby Storm through and he's up into 12th. King and Traxy for the lead of the race. They're pulling away these two. 2.8 seconds now over Tekken in third. Then it's Conti in fourth. Conti trying to hunt down. Traxy very late on the brakes there. The Austrian right on the back of the brake. Out of the final corner we come. Traxy 4.5 tenths away. King just breaks the toe though. You can see him moving to the centre of the track to try and break the slipstream from him behind on Traxy. And now Traxy tries to run down in towards turn 1, but King holding sway and holding his own out on track. And he's got the gap now down in towards turn 3. It's going to be about 3 tenths per second under the brakes there. Damon now through on Maximus. I think Maximus let him through perhaps. Either made another mistake. Maximus, in fact, into the pit lane. Wouldn't be surprised if Maximus comes in for a sort of hard compound of tyres here and then commits towards the end of the race. So let's see. We're right on board though with Neymar right on the back of Braywich and Magnus, who's also on the back of Braywich and Neymar. There's a yellow flag in sector 1, and that is Vapor Damon that is round. Coming out of turn 1 and 2, it's a Vapor Damon the German round, not really going his way so far. Vapor Damon out on track. McMavick now through and he's up into 13th. Neymar picks up a penalty. In the meantime, back to the battle with the lead as King tries to hunt, Traxy tries to hunt down King out on track. Nearly at the halfway stage here in Australia in Division 4. If you're just tuning in, where have you been the last 14.5 laps? There's King, who leads the way from Traxy in second. Tekken in third. Conti 4th, Atlas Copo 5th, Sygate in 6th. Side by side though, and behind on there's contact. Neymar, Magnus trying to go for the move around the outside, didn't leave him enough room. Neymar in the wall. Neymar really not going to be happy with that, I don't think. He's got right side end plate damage to that car. An absolute disaster. Magnus and Neymar make contact, not sure across who moved who, but look to me, from when we joined, it was Magnus trying to go around the outside, and he might have been the substitute factor in all of that. Lecala has been overtaken by Luki. Around the outside of turn 1, he goes, and now Atlas Copo is under pressure, has just been overtaken, I think, by Sygate. So Sygate now through, and he's up into 5th. Atlas Copo's 6th. Looking at the penalties, we can see that Sygate's got 11 seconds worth of penalties. Traxi, important, 3 seconds time when he picked up, as now Magnus tries to fight his way through on Brewich, and Magnus is through around the outside of Brewich, goes through turn 4 and gets the move done. He's up into 9th position, and Magnus 9th, Brewich in 10th, but whether he will get a penalty towards the end of the race will remain to be seen by the stewards. Traxi still trying to hunt down King. King almost looks like, to be honest, as there's the penalties once again for you guys. 3 seconds worth now for Tekken, just picked up. 3 seconds worth for Traxi, 11 seconds for Sygate, and there you can see further down the field, all spanning like 3 and 6 seconds worth of penalties there. But Traxi, I was just saying, King is now looking to be the quicker man through the middle sector, and that's where time is won or lost around this track. Not a long enough straight to try and catch, and certainly not a long enough straight to try and get the move done. I'm certainly that far back as King just powers out of turn 1. Traxi's almost been overcautious, I think, going through the corners, but now he's got a tremendous run then in towards turn 3. Now he's late on the brakes, and now Traxi tries to go around the outside of King. King hangs him out to dry though, and good defensive driving there by the AlphaTauri. Hung him out to dry. Traxi was late on the brakes as well. Overshot the corner slightly with a little bit of contact involved, but King still fending off all pursuers, and Traxi is the nearest man to try and hunt him down. Further down the field, Neymar with that damage. He's going to try and look to Maximus here. I think Neymar's just been into the pit lane, in fact, and moves across on Maximus. Leaves the door shut. Well, gotta be honest, he was going to get the move done anyways. Leaving the door shut like that, though, not really needed, if I've got to be honest. Neymar on 13th, Maximus in 14th. As I say, I hope, with it being Division 1 and with me being head commentator, that the standards of driving do really pick up, I think, out on track. It's what I want to see, it's what you guys want to see at the end of the day. We want consistency across all 4 divisions, and hopefully we can get that going forward. There's 10 rounds to go, so we're bound to get that at least 1 out of the 11 races, I would imagine. But King, leading the way, you can see how consistent King is through the final corner. He's absolutely blown away out in front from Traxi in 2nd, then it's Tekken in 3rd, and then Conti in 4th, and then everyone else is spread like an absolute washing line in behind. Atlas Copo trying to chase down Sygate. He's not within DRS range and is 1.1 seconds away. So literally now, this is probably the most boring bit of commentary I could ever commentate you guys on. We've now got hardly any action out on track, which is a shame. But King leading from Traxi in 2nd, Tekken in 3rd. We are now overtaking, by the way, in terms of the action out on track, Division 5. Division 5 must have had another safety car. And Teisler in 17th out of the race. As King running through there. Sounded to me as I brought on board with him. I'm not sure if it was the curb or something, or if he was picking up a puncture. Right on board. Very strange that might have just been my mic coming through there, but Conti trying to chase down Tekken in the meantime. Day Miles has crashed, and Sammy King's gone into the back of Schmitsky as well, and there's all sorts of carnage in behind in Division 5. If you want to watch that, then do so. If you don't, stay here, watch Division 4. Conti now chasing down Tekken for 3rd. So Tekken, former Division 5 champion, I should say, of course, in Season 1. And now Conti trying to hunt him down. Conti very consistent, of course, last season in Division 4. There's a yellow flag in Sector 1. And that is Maximus. That is round. Coming out of turn 3 and 4. It's Maximus round again. He's probably gone into the wall. Left side end plate damage maybe on that car. And he's getting chased down by Vapor Damon now out on track. Conti trying to chase down Tekken. On board then with Maximus. See and assess the damage. I believe, has he got away scot-free, I wonder, with that? So comes through in towards turn 9 and 10. Yeah, he's got away scot-free, so a clear mistake from Maximus, but no damage I can report on that card. At least, certainly, to the naked eyes. Now Conti hunts down Tekken. Tekken doing a phenomenal job out of the track. It's not certain that most of these guys are going to get to the end of the race as well, so it's going to be very, very interesting to see how these guys are going to get on out on track. I really hope that you've been enjoying this. Bit of Conti support there as well. We're on board with him as he now tries to chase down Tekken, who's in third, Conti in fourth. McLaren hunts down the Alfa Romeo. You can see, in terms of the consumption, Conti, 90% of ERS. Tekken has got 58. Conti is just sitting laughing, I think, at Tekken at this stage. And it's unbelievable to watch, to be honest, because Conti is so confident of getting this move done. He's got 100% of battery to use up on Tekken. Tekken's going to be a sitting duck compared to Conti down the straight here, possibly. Vapor Damon is through on Maximus. That is down in towards turn 3 and 4, where you see them changing position. Vapor Damon now through up towards turn 4, gets the move done on Maximus. Maximus trying to fight back on the minimap there, but Vapor Damon through. Conti runs wide, coming out of turn 3 at turn 2, and that last loses him the time. Could come down to who hasn't got the most penalties, of course, out on track. That's King out on top of him, Traxy second, Tekken in third, Conti in fourth, and we'll continue to ride on board with this battle for third and for fourth. King dominating though out on track from Traxy in second, then Tekken in third. What I'm going to do for the first round of the season, we're not going to have any interviews this week, but next week when Paco Suarez returns, we will have interviews, of course, for you next week from Division 4 Tekken. Rubbing against the wall there on the exit of turn 10, and he's all over the shop, Tekken. Conti now is just sitting, waiting. Look at the tyres, they're blistering like anything on those rears. And now Conti is surely going to fancy his chances down in towards 13. Consumption of the overtake mode. He tried to look around the inside there, now to the outside. Conti surely got this move done, and he has. Conti's still there though, Tekken, trying to fight through 14, leaves on shoulder room. Conti, I think, had the position, he had the move done. To be honest, Tekken looked to the inside line, and Tekken spun around by Conti. Gotta be honest though, and say, Conti had that move done, signed, sealed and delivered. He's through, and he's up into P3 as Licala and Tekken forced out wide then from Licala, and Tekken into the pit lane. An absolute disaster. He was losing positions anyway. He's out on track before he spun, or got spun by Conti. I've got to argue, Conti had right away at the corner. He was on the outside line, on the natural racing line. Tekken tried to go up the inside, and contact was made. Simple as that, but I think Conti got that position, I think, fair and square. Magnus through on Licala, goes down the inside and towards turn 3. And he's got the job done. It's a good move there by Magnus on his fellow Scandinavian. The Norwegian now through up into 7th position. Out on track, Licala now down to 8th position. Now out on track, and Magnus really beginning to catch the eye coming through the field. Yeah, Norwegian through there on the fin. OFR. And Magnus just picking up another 3 seconds time. Let's have a look at the penalties. 6 seconds now for Magnus, 14 seconds. Worth a side gate, got to be very careful he doesn't pick up any more and gets disqualified from this race. In the meantime though, Traxy's getting on with things, and it's now 7/10 of a second separating as we come on to lap 21 out of 29. So we've got him all to go. Yellow flag in sector 1, Maximus is round again. There's now Traxy, hunts down King. King is so much more better out of the final. Out of the first 2 corners, and now Traxy's got no chance once again. King through, and he's into the lead of the race still. Traxy second. Then it's Conti in third. So I get balls out, there's Coco in fifth. Maximus, you saw there, spun round turn 1 and 2. Now he's got the car going again. He's rejoined just ahead of Conti, I think, out on track, if I'm not mistaken. For now. Switch back to a camera angle that is very shoddy. Tekken through on Mac Maverick. Mac Maverick into the pit lane. And I picked up a little bit of damage on that set of mediums. All those sides weren't getting to the end. But now Traxy hunting down King. Battle drawn once again between the Brit and the Austrian. Been a really competitive battle between the guys out on track. And hopefully it's going to be really good, of course, as we see throughout the season. We'll update you with the calendar, of course, at the end of the race. King, though, Leading the way from Traxy. Jibby Storm with a 3-second time penalty. Goodness me. I've seen it all now. 3-second time penalty for Jibby Storm. Down there in 10th. Down there in 10th. Really not where he should be, I think. In terms of how this race has gone. As Traxy spins. Coming down the final 2 corners. Had a half spin. Had a moment. And somehow he hasn't lost much time of it. Traxy really got caught wide out on the final corner. Wish it was replay cams. Might be a good show. But King leading the way. Traxy in second. And my God, Traxy was lucky there. As now Atlas Copo tries to hunt down Cygate. The Dutchman now under pressure from Atlas Copo out of the track. There's a yellow flag. Maximus is retired. Coming into the pit lane. And Cygate doing a good job. Dutchman now under pressure from the Norwegian. Atlas Copo for the OWR team. All Walkers Racing, of course, if you're not familiar with our esports terminology here. And speaking of esports, the Sports Masters League comes back next week, which is really, really good. Second boots in the fastest lap of the race with a 1:23.5, so the fastest lap point currently going to him. But yeah, EML next week. There will be a change-up in the commentary lineup. One, Kieran McGinley not going to be here for the 4 races, the next 4 races for Premier. Well, if you're a big fan of me and Kieran's commentary, well, you're going to be a big fan of myself and Daniel Hoggard's commentary, as we'll be taking you through next week on League Racing TV, and that's of course on Wednesday. Absolutely thrilled to have Dan alongside me, and Dan of course Division 2 commentating this season of TTML, and it's going to be fascinating I think to see how that is going to go on, so I can confirm that. It's me and Dan of course in the commentary box for the next 4 rounds of the Premier Division League 1. I am desperately going to find a replacement for Dan for that. Traxy tries to chase down King through 3 and 4, and the Brit really has done a fantastic job out on track. He's just been so consistent in terms of his driving. Magnus, another one that's been so consistent in terms of his driving, looks the outside line on Lukey, going around turn 3, absolutely sails it around the outside. Brilliant move by Magnus. He is one to watch, possibly going forward. His moves tonight has been sensational. He leaves Lukey now treading in his dust and treading in his wake. Magnus around the outside, through 3 and then 4. Brilliant stuff, and he's clearing it up into 6th. Great stuff by Magnus out on track. Absolutely unbelievable move that. Really good. King leading the way from Traxy in second, and again Traxy just 4 tenths away, breathing down King's neck. But King could be coming of age, as we will have 6 more laps to go out on track. From Traxy in second, then Conti third, Cygate fourth, Atlas Copo in fifth, and there is Atlas Copo, car 72 out on track, chasing down Cygate. Magnus, Lukey, just in behind Lukey. I think has just made a slight mistake out of 13, which is why he's lost a little bit of time. Magnus, though, is already hunting down his teammate, and never mind that, he's hunting down Cygate for possible P4 now out on track. Atlas Copo coming down towards turn 1, not close enough, I don't think, to have a lunge down towards turn 1. We'll put the Dutchman under pressure. And now Atlas Copo will use up the overtake mode to good effect. He uses up the DRS mode to good effect as well. Switches to the inside line. Cygate caught napping down the inside. And Atlas Copo, just a bit of a breaking market to be honest. Think he was going to get the move done anyways. Atlas Copo through. He's up into P4. Cygate now P5. And Magnus hunting down both Cygate and Atlas Copo. It's almost as if he's came into the race how quick he's been in these last couple of laps, and now he's on the back of Cygate and Atlas Copo, marching his way through the field. Lukey not entirely out of this either, so 4-way battle for 4th really beginning to heat up even the final stages of the Australian Grand Prix for Season 3, Division 4, Round 1 of the Championship. King still leading, no penalties for King out on track. Traxy is second, Conti is third. Atlas Copo 4th, Magnus has just given another 3-second time. I think I'm now promoted up to 9, if I'm not mistaken. But Magnus now hunting down Cygate. This is an absolute unbelievable race out on track. Driving standards, of course, do need to improve. I will admit that wholeheartedly now. Atlas Copo runs wide. Cygate now under pressure, and is now Magnus going to come. Magnus, who can be really claimed to be an absolute forthcoming shout of the championship, even though this on in the stages of this race, or in the championship I should say, as Tekken is through on Jibby Storm at a turn 15. So Soft's beating. Oh, it's on that. Magnus trying to go around the outside of Sidegate. Caught napping there, Sidegate. Trying to go around the outside. Goodness me, I was even caught napping with that. Magnus trying to go around the outside. He didn't commit it enough. But goodness me, he's up for racing here tonight. Magnus is trying to charge his way through the field. It is absolutely unbelievable. It's almost as if he's just came into the race. It's almost as if he's joined 24 laps into this race. We have never known of him. And then he produced a move around the outside of turn 3 and now he's been known. Simple as that. King leading the way from Traxy second. We've got 4 more laps to go after this one. It is Traxy under pressure, King under pressure from Traxy up ahead, but continue to ride on board with his battle for 4th. Now we'll switch to the battle for the lead as Traxy. This is time out of the final 2 corners. And coming across the start-finish line. Tyway not entirely secure, of course, around this track, but looks to me as if the guys are going to get a one-stop strategy possibly out of this race, which is absolutely phenomenal. But King leading, Traxy second, Conti third, Sidegate now coming in at the scope. Had a really bad run out though, and now Magnus hunts him down once again. Jimmy Storm trying to hang on there on Tekken further down the field. Magnus now out of turn 1, through turn 2, Sidegate gets caught on the curb and Magnus gets caught on the grass. Both make mistakes, and now Magnus tries to switch to the outside line. Sidegate on the inside line. Is he going to try and do what he did 3 laps ago? No, he doesn't, and Magnus hangs on still in 6th. Unlucky for some, car number 13, but he's really having a go at this. He's still pulling away from Lukey in all of this as well, which is great stuff. And Magnus, 6th position. Sidegate 5th. Atlas Coppo 4th. In a Ferrari sandwich, Sidegate. He will be getting the gates closed, I think, with this. And with this Ferrari sandwich, the Tifosi sandwich, of course. The Ferraris are known as. King leading from Traxy second. Conti in third. Conti pretty much now nailed on for 3rd position. Traxy, I think, has only got 3 seconds still out on track. He has. Sidegate's got 17 seconds worth of penalties. And he is going to be dropping his way down, maybe to around P10. Possibly out on track. Certainly about P8, P9, maybe even P10. Judging by how many penalties he has picked up so far. King though leading. We are now on to the final 3 laps here in Australia. But look at Magnus. Magnus hunting down the back of Sidegate, who gets caught on the grass slightly out of the final corner. Magnus just caught one in for pace there slightly out of the final corner, and Sidegate tries to hunt down now Atlas Coppo down in towards turn 1. AlphaTauri against Ferrari. And where have we seen this before? Sidegate now on the back, trying to get the move done. Mathematics is through on Neymar, running down in towards turn 13. Oh, and Sidegate's completely messed up his braking point. He's nearly done a me, I think, from back in the day on League Racing. He's cut across the curb as well, and he rejoins on track safely. Liccardo is going to be catching him, and now that promotes a battle between 2 Norwegians, Atlas Coppo and Magnus. Atlas Coppo 4th, Magnus in 5th. It's been a real topsy-turvy sort of race here in Division 4 tonight, as I keep alluding to, and Atlas Coppo is going to let through Magnus. Typical. Typical. Why do that though? Because 6 seconds worth more penalties Magnus has got. Magnus now up to 4th. He feels obviously he's the quicker driver, but is there really any points? 2 laps to go. King leading the way. Traxy is now got to put in 2 stonking, absolute stonking laps if he's going to try and hunt down King. King's weakness is down the straight. If Traxy saves up enough ERS across this lap and promotes it to try and get the overtake done on the final lap of the race, he's going to be right there possibly for the win. He's got 3 seconds worth of time penalties, as you can see on your screen. In terms of the tyre, in terms of the position gains, I should say, out on track, 10 positions for Lukey. He could be on for drive of the day, as voted for by the in-game fans. Nicola's gained 7, Sidegate's gained 6. I think it comes to show how weird this race has been, Division 4 tonight. But King out on top, Traxy second, and Conti in 3rd. I think I said Troxy there. King in the way, Traxy 3 second time penalty. That is probably it now, with King going to be awarded this race with no penalties currently. Coming in towards the final couple of laps. lap and a quarter to go. About 6 kilometres on from this point, I would say. As now King leading round the final 2 corners for the penultimate time. Yellow flag in sector 1. Mac Maverick out of the race through turn 5. He lost it by himself. So Mac Maverick out of the race on a set of soft compound tyre. No safety car will be deployed. It's the final lap of the race, and now King marches his way possibly to a victory here in Division 4. It's now a second. The gap coming out of turn 2. Now on the run down towards turn 3. Traxy knows now he is not going to win this, but somebody that might get a position is Licala, who's trying to chase down Sygate. This is for 7th and 8th. Sygate, I think, is just out of DRS range on the car ahead. Licala tries to close down, but strong enough. Looks like Sygate might use a bit of overtake mode, trying to have a go at Lukey onto the final lap of the race. Lukey 6th, Sygate 7th, Licala in 8th. Traxy has now pretty much given up the ghost. And King, he's got to be careful, Traxy, actually, because Conti hasn't picked up a penalty. Traxy's got to keep that car going. 9.6 seconds, 9.7. It's looking more inferior. Oh, Lucky gets caught on the grass there. But just moments away. King is going to be crowned the first winner of Division 4 this season. He will be your championship leader going into the racing next week in Bahrain. And King, out of the final couple of corners, I've got to say it has been a dominant drive from the Brit out on track. He's celebrating coming out the final corner. Don't take your foot off the gas, man. King around the final corner, comes across the line to win here in Australia. Round 1 of the championship goes to King. Traxy will get second. Conti's now dropped out of that buffer zone that he would have had on the final lap of the race. So Traxy will get second. Conti will get third. 3.9 seconds worth of penalties in the gap in the end to Traxy. Magnus is across the line to finish in 4th, and Atlas Copo across the line to finish in 5th. He throws up the 4th though. Lukey, Sygate's going to be the big dropper here. Licala up to 6th, Lukey 7th, Sygate in 8th, Bray, which I think will jump ahead of Sygate as well. Tekken might jump ahead of Sygate if he can get a move on as well. Around the final corner he comes, across the line for 10th, up to 9th, gets him by a 10th of a second in the end. Jimmy Storm on his Division 4 debut in 11th. Neymar will be having some words, I think, with some of these drivers tonight in 12th. And he comes across the line to finish in 12th. And Vapor Damon, another unlucky story out on track. The German now ran the final corner. Not his day. Hopefully he'll be back stronger next week and he'll come across the line to finish, unlucky for some, in 13th position. And that is Division 4 over and done with tonight. Vapor Damon coming across the line in 13th, but your winner is King. Driver of the day is voted for by the in-game fans. As I said a couple of laps ago, is Lukey. So Lukey gets awarded the driver of the day in-game fans. And that is that. So we now come to the podium celebrations. Fantastic win from King out on track. Conti in the end not doing enough to demote not Lukey off the podium, Traxy off the podium. He got confused from the 2 Austrians there. But it is that man there who has taken the win out on track. King in 1st, and Traxy in 2nd, and Conti finishing in 3rd position. Well then, what a race to start off the season. It is King who takes it out on track. 6 seconds worth of penalties for Traxy, but he finishes in 2nd. Conti in 3rd, Atlas Copo in 4th, with Magnus in 5th. If you were a follower of my prediction, you would have realised I got it completely and utterly wrong as per usual. Licala finishing in 6th with Lukey in 7th. Good drive from both them from 15th and 16th on the grid, with Braywich in 8th, Tekken in 9th, Sygate in 10th. Jimmy Storm on his Division 5 debut in 11th, with Neymar in 12th. Vapor Damon rounded off the finishes in 13th. So minimum, I think, of 8 points, if I'm not mistaken, out on track picked up for these guys. Maverick, Maximus. Maverick did crash out of the race, but it's been classified in the results. He did get fastest lap as well. Maximus, Florian, Storm, Khan are the non-finishers out on track. 5 non-finishers, 13 finish. And it is King who takes the win from Traxy in 2nd, and Conti finishing in 3rd. Well, that is it. No interviews tonight. My voice has literally gone. I think if I honestly did the interviews, my voice would be dead by the end of it. So I'm going to rest up here tonight. We will be back there with the interviews next week. Paco Suarez should be joining me in the commentary box. If not, it'll be somebody else, hopefully. But really hope you've enjoyed Division 4, and if you have, like, comment, subscribe, tick that notification bell if you are new, and of course tune in next week for Bahrain. But can reveal, of course, that we have got more action coming up for you. It is TTML F2, it is round 2, I think, of the championship. Aiden Carter and TFI Buck are going to be taking you through the action for Sunday evening, and that is at 8 PM UK time, if I'm not mistaken, for TTML F2, and hopefully it'll just be as good a race as what we've just seen there in Division 4, despite the lack of driving standards from a few. Hopefully they will improve, of course, for next week. Really hope you enjoyed that, really hope you are all staying safe, and we brought a little bit of normality into your life. It is hard out there, but hopefully we're going to see some great racing out on track. My driver of the day, I've got to be honest, King gets my driver of the day. A phenomenal drive from him. If he drives like that every single race of this season, honestly, he could be one of the guys to watch going forward in TTML. Magnus, a big mention out to him. 2 phenomenal moves around the outside through turn 3, and he could be a guy to watch next week, of course. And for round 2 of the championship, as I alluded to earlier on, we go to Bahrain, 26th to the 29th of January. Mark those dates in your calendar. Division 1, of course, on Tuesday night, Division 2 and 3 on Thursday, and then Division 4 and 5 on Friday. And then, of course, we have got CWC for you on Monday as well. So literally every day, apart from Saturday, we're on League Racing TV. Thank you so much for tuning in, though. I will sign off here. It has been an absolute honour to take you through the first round of the championship, as always, in Division 4 and for the rest of the season, of course. Please stay safe in this crazy world we all live in. Thank you so much for tuning in to TTML Division 4, and until Sunday for TTML F2 on League Racing TV, goodbye.